My friends, you are going to die, and I'm going to die, and everyone must die. That's the beautiful game of living. Now, if you saw the title and felt some negative feeling, whether it's anxiety or fear, any array of fear, then I urge you to look into why that is. Why are you afraid of dying? Why are you not addressing the reality of life, which is intertwined with the reality of death? Because if you can't do that, if you can't accept that, then you're not really living. You're not able to live fully. There's a story I want to read that I just saw. It's called The Tiger and the Fly, and I'm gonna read it off screen if you're wondering. So it goes like this. In the middle of the darkest night, Master Po woke me with a sharp slap to my forehead. He commanded me to meet him in the courtyard. The night was perfectly still, and the blue light filled Wudon, and Po seemed uneasy. To call this uncharacteristic is an understatement. Nothing troubled Po. But something was tonight. Po sat in the lotus position and commanded me to do the same. Once I sat opposite him, he began to speak. I am going to tell you the story of an argument between a tiger and a fly. He took a short pause and turned his head towards the sky as if he was acknowledging the gods of his storytelling, commanding them to pay attention. The tiger argued that he was king of the jungle and that no one took notice of the fly. The fly simply laughed and stated that the tiger was no king as he couldn't catch him. Did the tiger try to swipe him? I asked. Po stared straight through me, the same look I had seen him give opponents before taking their lives. Eventually, Po continued, the fly died a silent death, unknown to the world. The very same day, the tiger was poached, and his fur hung on the wall of the region's richest warlord. Po stood up and began to walk back to his quarters. I don't understand, I blurted out. What is the lesson of this story? Po continued walking and answered me without turning around. There is no point to this story. Everybody dies in the end. Everybody dies in the end. We're always dying. Every moment of our lives, from the moment we're born, is decay. To an extent, I guess. As a small child, your cells are growing and stuff like that. But essentially, from the moment you're born, you're on your way to death. And to live your life from this concept, out from this philosophy, is how you live fully. And everything becomes more beautiful when you understand that we are doomed from the start. And you can really think about what that means and what your life means when you only have so much time. And if you spend all of your time being afraid of the end and, putting off the thoughts of this that allow you to really be free, then you're not really living. It's the victim mindset versus the problem solver mindset, where the victim, thinks life is just loss. Everything that I am, everything that I have, I will lose someday. So I might as well just not try. But the problem solver thinks, well, if you could only see the nothingness that exists on both sides, the vast void between life, not between, on the outside of life, the parameters of your life are a miracle. And somehow we are the defiance that exists within nothing. So we have everything to lose, but we also have everything to gain. And, so I think the real drive for life, the real drive that I've come to know is that, we should try to build our lives and do something with our lives that transcends time, because this is really the way that you transcend death. And whether that's building an empire, whether that is raising children to the best of your ability that will then grow up and do the same potentially. And so, or even if it's just spreading love, and allowing the butterfly effect to do the thing, or allowing quantum physics, as they say, just the vibration of your vocal cords in a moment is enough to impact the farthest star in the universe, according to quantum physics. So, even just existing out of love and spreading that energy into the world is transcending time in a sense. It's less tangible, but that is also a way, if you program your mind to enjoy that state of being, then that's really the truest revolution. But when it comes to physical reality, and physical tangible objects, creating something is the best way to transcend time. Creating a whether that's music, even an empire could be music, it could be a business, it could be any sort of creation that will exist beyond your existence. But the biggest mistake that I think most of us make is that we think we have time outside of right now. We think we have time, and we keep waiting for the day that doesn't ever come, because we're waiting until we feel like it. And you never do, because you can only feel like it right now. And time is not found, it's created. You don't find time in the future. You don't, if you put something off into the future until, you're ready to do it, well, surprise, you will die wondering where all of your time went and where that magical moment where you started was supposed to be. You have to create time now, right now, in the present moment, and make your life mean something. And that's the greatest resistance to death, is the acceptance of it. The acceptance that I will die, and before I die, I'm going to live incredibly, and I'm going to make things, and I'm going to place myself in a position where I can't regret, because I'm going to live my fullest, and everything I do, I'm going to put everything of myself into, and when I die, that's enough. So, when older people, or anyone on their deathbed talks about their regrets, it's always along these lines. You've seen them, I'm sure you've seen the quotes. It's always not being fully in the moment, or appreciating what you had, or taking the chance, especially taking the risk. That's life. Life is a giant risk, and we're not going to get out alive. That's how risky it is. So it's all about leveraging your risk and your time. And don't be afraid of death. It will happen, and it's supposed to happen, and that's what makes it so beautiful. If we lived forever, shit would get boring, relatively speaking, very quickly. So this is the cutting edge of existence. is this physical reality that we're existing in being temporary, and us being able to experience our sensations and learn and grow constantly, and then raise children and create things that continue the flow, and hopefully evolve into bigger and better things and more loving things and more amazing things. And not knowing what's going to exist in the future is kind of incredible, kind of amazing. Just to ponder the mystery and not have to know everything is awesome. That's it. Stop being afraid of death. See ya.